the podcast where you break down the biggest moments, hottest takes, and the wildest stories from the world of pro wrestling. Whether you're a diehard fan or just stepping into the squared circle, we're here to give you the real scoop on everything happening in the ring.
I'm your host, RJD, and we're about to take a ride through the latest and greatest in pro wrestling. Get ready for all our hot takes, deep dives, and all the wrestling you never knew you needed.
Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button and join What the Wrestling family so you never miss an episode. Now let's step into the ring.
You're listening to the What the Wrestling podcast, the show that brings you all things wrestling with your host, RJD.
Oh, you already know what time it is. AEW, everybody. AEW. We are here to talk about it. And AEW actually had a quite decent show last night. So, as you guys always know, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. So let's not waste any time. Let's go. Yeah, no sound effects today. So yes. Tis I, RJD here. Welcome to What the Wrestling, the show that brings you all things wrestling. I am your host, once again, RJD. Follow me, RJD, at RJ699 on the Twitter, aka X, and follow me at What the Wrestling on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Now. Hope everybody's having themselves a good old day. As always, we are here to talk about AEW, and we have a new addition to the AEW family, the Psycho Killer himself, Tommaso Ciampa. Yes, he is all elite. And I must say, might as well talk about it now. I must say I am happy for him. Yes, I am happy for Tommaso Ciampa. No updates to the channel. So before we actually get into it, y'all already know the merch is over here. Follow me and hit the like button over here as we continue to improve and grow. 168 subscribers moving forward. Let's roll out. So let's talk about Ciampa. So the Psycho Killer himself, Ciampa, is now all elite. And I think that's a good thing. Keep it a buck. I think that's a good thing. Why? Because in WWE, Ciampa is a little bit on the older side. Obviously, he can still go. He's hard hitting. He's a phenomenal storyteller. The man has it all. And if you watched NXT Black and Gold, you already know about how good he is. Unfortunately, we didn't get Gargano beating him for the title because he got hurt. I believe he had neck surgery, if I'm not mistaken. But it is what it is. I'm glad he came back, did what he had to do. NXT Black and Gold, peak professional wrestling right there. But as of late, the DIY connection, they haven't really been using him or Gargano which is criminal because both of those guys are absolutely amazing. Haven't been using DIY as much. They kind of fell to the wayside, and I don't know if Champa said I'm leaving or if they just weren't going to renew him, but he was like, I'm out. So he was like, F this, I'm out. So nothing wrong there. Sometimes you have to do what you have to do, and sometimes you got to do what's best for you and your family. And if it were me, I would, bet on myself. And there's plenty of places to go. There was talk that he was going to go to New Japan Pro Wrestling. He still could. He still might, because AEW allows you to the freedom to roam around as you see fit. And at the end of the day, he's closer to the end than he is to the beginning. So I'm glad he landed in AEW. I'm sure he's going to work with some killer people and have some killer matches. And I hope they let him go out there. Babyface, heel, who cares? Doesn't matter. He's going to go out there and kill it. Good pop for him. People were into it. And he's going to go crazy in that ring. Now, am I afraid for him? Yes, I am. And I'll tell you why. Because Champa has a hard-hitting style. He's going to beat your ass. And he's going to give it as good as he takes it. So I just hope, with the history of neck issues, and obviously the man's in shape. His cardio is on point. Physically, I'm sure he's on point. But we got a AEW. Sometimes they let you go out there and do crazy things. And a lot of the times, the wrestlers don't want to say no. They just want to do what they want to do, get this shit in. But hopefully he works smarter, not harder, and he does what he has to do, and he has a good run here in AEW. I'm all for it. Now, the only thing I didn't like, as we're just going to fast forward right to that segment, the only thing I didn't like is as we get into Mark Briscoe versus El Colon. Oh, yeah. Now, let's talk about what I did like. We'll get to Champa in a minute. El Colon is great. If I had my stuff, I'd Don DeMarco El Colon right now. Don DeMarco El Colon is awesome. He can go. Now, I don't know if this was his debut, but first time on Dynamite, but I have never seen El Colon before, but goddamn it, El Colon can go. They had this spot where he kind of jumped out of the J Driller. All right, here's my thing. So he hit him, the J Driller, nobody should be kicking out of that, clearly. He hit the J Driller and then he kind of popped up. Sort of like when Ali tried to do when Randy tried to hit Ali with the RKO and he kind of hand stood it and popped back up. Now that clearly you could see he missed the move. Here, it's like he got hit with the J Driller, landed on his head, and just popped up like, no, not today. That was kind of weird. The crowd liked it. They were like, oh, but to me, it was kind of like, that was kind of weird. But whatever. Nitpicking at this point. Great match. Briscoe wins with the roll-up. So Briscoe, he had to dig into the toolbox to beat this guy. So that's the best you could do with trying to make somebody look strong without them beating you. So shout out to Mark Briscoe. We love Mark Briscoe, TNT champ. And he says, you know what? I love this open challenge thing. I'm going to keep fighting. I know I'm doing a bad Mark Briscoe impersonation. I know. But Mark Briscoe said, listen, I don't care about none of that. I'm going to be a fighting champion. Who's coming out here? Who's next? Bring him. And out comes the Psycho Killer. Looks at him. Briscoe looks at him. He hits him with like a little headbutt, and he's out of there. Now, my whole thing is this. And also, they had a very good match. Mark Briscoe and El Colon. A1, very good match. My whole thing is, I hate when they bring these people in on AEW. They bring in Champa, you bring in somebody from the outside, and you give them a freaking title shot like right off the bat. I just don't think that's the correct way to do it. Because if he wins, excuse me, if he wins, that's great. But now he's got to keep winning. Because if he loses, it's like you brought him in, he got 2 wins, and then he loses the championship. Maybe he has a rematch, he loses again. Where does he go? Back to the bottom of the card. And if you bring somebody in off the street, a big name, and then they lose right off the bat, then they're a loser. Shout out to Jim Carrey. So I hate it. The best way to do it, you bring them in, you start them, started at the bottom, now we're here. Start them at the bottom, you build them up, they get the chip. A la Aleister Black, Black and Gold. Remember that? Remember when Aleister Black, he came in, he was beating people, like good name, then he moved on up, then he got hurt, then he came back with the, he beat Velveteen Dream. I just want you to say my name. Remember that? Black and Gold. And then he goes through, he got hurt, he came back. They wrote it into the story about who, took him out of action, even though it was a legit injury. Storyline, they took him out. He came back, got revenge. I think it was Gargano, they said, who hit him with a car or some crap. And then he kept moving up the card, and then he got the title. Like, that's it. You move him on up slowly. They didn't sign Aleister Black and then, okay, first match in. He's fighting, who is Andrade. He fought Andrade and wins the title. That didn't happen like that. Come on, man. So I just think it's awesome to see Champa there, but it's like, damn, you kind of book yourself into a corner when you have somebody come off the street like that, man. It's kind of like, damn, now where do you go? So we'll see what happens. We will monitor the situation. Let's start back up at the top. So we had Kenny Omega versus Rocky Romero. Now, if I had my sound bites, I would say stop the show. So Kenny Omega said, I'm going to go fight elite competition. And I'm going to get a couple of wins, and then I'm going to challenge for the title. The first elite name is Rocky Romero. Nah, fam. Nah, fam. So he beat Rocky Romero. Quick match. 1, 2, 3. V trigger. Snapdragon. One-winged angel. Thank you for coming. Have a good night. But come on, man. Come on, son. That's not elite competition, bruv. Sorry, it's not. So if you're gonna have him come out and say, I want to fight elite competition, then put him in there with some elite competition. Sometimes with AEW, they don't want the top guys to lose, but all the top guys are elite competition. Have him go back there and beat somebody credible, not somebody that we know he's gonna beat. I get the Josh Alexander, great. But you went from Josh Alexander to Rocky Romero. Not to say that he's a bad wrestler. He's not. He's great. But I'm talking about in the eyes of the fans, in the eyes of how many matches has he won, in the eyes of is he relevant right now? That kind of made no sense to me. But I digress. Then we had the Hangman come out. And we had not Swerve. Well, they told us about Joe. Joe apparently got hurt, so he's out of there. So I believe they replaced him with Andrade. Okay, cool. Not mad at that. But Joe's hurt. Speedy recovery, Joe. But the Hangman comes out and they start talking, doing everything. And basically we're setting up for who's coming next. So we got a lot of people vying for that title. A lot of them. So I like the fact that we got Hangman and Swerve and Joe and what's this cat's name? And Brody King. I like the fact that we got all these guys fighting for the title. I'm not mad at it. But we're going to have some elite competition. Let's call it what it is. Jon Moxley versus Ace Austin. Another good match by another good wrestler that I haven't heard of. So shout out to Ace Austin. Listen, he's making the most of what he is given, so I'm not mad here. He is making the most of what he is given. So as always, Mox winning Continental Champion. Mox is awesome. I love the fact that he's on this babyface run, but then I don't love the fact that the rest of the Death Riders are heels, but their leader is a babyface. It makes no sense, but I digress. It's all good. We're going to make it work, baby. We're going to make it work. But the Death Riders, as usual, Marina Shafir hyped them up before Claudio handed him the Continental Championship. That was smooth to see. Marina Shafir, Claudio, Wheeler Yuta. The Death Riders are good as a collective, so I'm not mad at it here. And that was that. Now, what I do like that's going on is obviously we got the Don Callis family. Callis came out when Omega was talking, and Omega said, whatever, put whoever you want in front of me, and I'm going to come kick your ass anyway. Great. He ran back there and chased them off. But what we finally had on this show is we had Okada and Takeshita. So Okada apologized to the Proto Star and was like, yo, listen, my fault. I grabbed a screwdriver. I wanted to win. I wasn't thinking about you. I was just thinking about winning. My bad. And the Proto Star said, listen, Kyle Fletcher said, I forgive you. I forgive you, my guy. We're good. Don't worry about it. And then Takeshita later on looked at him and said, you forgave him? You forgave Okada? Looked at him and walked away. I love it. Now, it's been a while since the Continental Classic, so we could have had this a while ago. Maybe there was travel issues. Who knows? I digress. But good to see that they're continuing with that Okada and Takeshita storyline. Want to see those guys go back at it again? Please take my money. So I did love that we're furthering that along, because I really did want to see that. And I really do hope that they continue to weave that into the story of the Don Callis family. So we had MJF out there, and he comes out, talks his talk, and who comes out but Brody King? And he said, stop barking, and everybody was like, roo, 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 roo. So MJF talked junk. He was like, listen, Shivani, man, this place sucks, man. I hate that we have to do interviews here. This place is hot garbage. And they talk it up. Brody King comes out, and MJF said, Brody King said that he went to TK and he's got himself a match. So he's going to face him in an eliminator for the chance to face him at Australia at Grand Slam. Okay, here's another stop the show moment. Stop the show. All right. AEW. Please. Why do we have Kenny Omega talking about, oh, I'm going to make sure that I fight the elite competition before I get a chance to get the belt? And then we got Brody King saying, I'm going to beat the champion, and if I beat the champion, I'm going to get a shot at the belt. Why does Kenny Omega have to work his balls off to get a title shot? But Brody King says, yo, TK, I need to fight the MJF, and then I'll whoop his ass. Why? Because his tag team partner lost? Come on, man. Come on. We got to do better. If one person got to bust their ass to go fight elite competition to get a title shot, Brody King should have to do the same thing. Brody King should be beating up on people and coming to get a title shot. Look at all the people at the top. Swerve, Hangman, Omega, Brody King, Bandito just fought him. And they got Joe when he comes back. They got 6 people literally at the top of the card right now that realistically could have a shot to fight MJF. So just have them go beat some competition, man. That's it. Just have them go beat some competition. Don't just say, hey, you get a title shot because you got to work your ass off. But you got to beat me and then you get a title shot. I don't know. Kind of didn't make sense. But I digress. It's all good. I ain't mad. It's all good. I ain't mad. AEW Women's World Championship. Chris Statlander versus Thekla. Not gonna lie, I like Thekla. Thekla is a good heel. I like the Sisters of Sin. I like that little dark triangle paragram, whatever the hell them ladies got going on with Sky Blue and Julia Hart. I like that. Whatever they got going on, I like it. It's dope. But it was to no avail. She put in a good fight. The end sequence of this match was really good. Like the match was good, first of all. But I really liked the end of the match. Went for the Wednesday Night Fever, missed it. Thekla like kind of did the spider thing and evaded something, but she got hit with a clothesline. Then she got hit with the Saturday Night Fever and lost, something like that. It was a very good sequence at the end. But Thekla is a loser. Megan Bayne came out after the fact, who I told y'all should get the belt. I have not heard this lady say one word. Megan Bayne, I have not heard her say one thing since she got to AEW. I'm sure she's had a backstage segment. I'm sure she's talked, but I haven't heard her say shit. Nothing. But I think Megan Bayne should get one of those belts after she's built up, and she'll be a great heel champion because she's bigger than all these other girls. She's strong as hell, and she looks like a goddamn Valkyrie, for God's sake. And if you play God of War, you know what I mean. But I don't understand. She comes out, obviously Willow, they come out to celebrate with her, Willow and the rest of them. And Stat is standing there, and then Megan Bayne comes out with Penelope Ford. And I'm looking forward to the match. Those ladies have good chemistry, but it's like, come on, man. I haven't heard the damn lady say nothing. I haven't heard the woman say one word. So I hope that they rectify that. And Thekla will be back. Thekla will be back. FTR versus Mark Davis and Jake Doyle. FTR gets the win here. Solid match. We still have Christian Cage and Adam Copeland. They're still lingering in the background. I'm assuming they will be around eventually. I don't know what the hell is taking them so long. Maybe one of them got hurt. But I'm very interested to see. I mean, that's why they got the belts. FTR versus Copeland and Cage. We're waiting for that. It's coming. So we'll keep our eyes open. Then we have Swerve Strickland versus Andrade El Idolo. And we had ourselves a grade A, good old-fashioned slobber knocker, as Jim Ross used to say. We had ourselves a slobber knocker here, and this was great. This was great. Andrade gets the win by referee distraction, kicking Swerve in the cojones, and getting the win. That's how you make somebody look good. You have them beat somebody else. That's great. That's how you get somebody over. Just because Swerve takes a loss, it doesn't mean Swerve sucks. It just means he took a loss. And Andrade was like that meme with the guy. Y'all know that meme with the black guy like. Andrade gets the win here, and that's great because guys gotta lose. You can't have Andrade fight somebody unbelievable and then you don't want to beat, and then you have him beat somebody that could take a loss. Swerve could take a loss. Heyman could take a loss. If somebody kicks you in the cojones and pins your ass, you could take a loss. It's okay. Next week, you know what we're still going to say? Whose house? Swerve's house. We're still going to say that, even though he lost. So it's okay for people to lose sometime. So I like the fact that he got the win here, especially the fact that he just got back on TV. He needed the win. Glad he won. And honestly, we had a good show. The show was good. The matches were all great. We got some furthering of the story from backstage segments. So I'm not going to sit here and poo-poo on the show. The show was good. The show was good. So moving forward, I know we have some things that need to be ironed out as far as the top of the card. MJF had Hangman following him at the end of this show. He had Hangman back there. He had Brody King back there. He's got other people looking at him, following him. Everybody's coming for this guy. And that's how it should be. Everybody should be fighting to be the world champion. Why else are you there? You play to win the game. So shout out to Herm Edwards for all my football fans. But at the end of the day, everybody's got to fight for that. Everybody should be fighting to be the best. And right now, MJF is the best. He has the title. Everybody should be going for his neck, and they are. They're going for his jugular, and I love it. We got a bunch of people that's going to fight MJF. Unfortunately, we got a bunch of people that's going to lose because I don't see anybody beating MJF until Wembley, and it will probably be Will Ospreay. But what if Will Ospreay is not ready to come back at Wembley? First of all, that would suck because that's his hometown, and that would be a very big deal for him to obviously work his way into a spot and get that title like Wembley for that big Wembley all hometown win. Yes, we love that. But we got a bunch of people now that's on the chopping block, and I don't know. They could give it to Omega. They could give it to Swerve. They could give it to Ospreay if he's ready. They could do a lot of things. So I'm interested to see where they go. I'm all for it. Thank you very much. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in. Shout out to everybody liking my stuff all over the place. I'm out of here. I'll catch y'all on the next one. What the Wrestling News Brief mañana. Stay tuned for that. As for me, I'm out. Peace.